6:05. It's good to have you. A lot to do this morning. It kind of feels like fall, doesn't it? We're getting there.
Oh, it's getting there.
It's going to be a high of, 70 today?
Yeah.
Some rain?
And the temperatures are going to start falling in the afternoon.
A lot different than 86.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw people on my Facebook or whatever, and they're like, I'm so sick of this heat. And I'm like, well, let's take it easy. It's going to be snowy and, 10 degrees at some point.
Uh-huh.
I'm just trying to hold on to this
For
as
a
much
longer
as
time
possible.
than it is warm.
All right, right. So the weather's dipping a little bit. Are we expecting a little rain for the Tiger game today?
I believe so.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be rainy all day.
Yeah, so we might get a little
The
little
Tigers
weather.
started at 4:08, and I believe they said, the rain will start letting up around that time. So,
Well, you know what?
later innings should be good. Anyway.
Paul Gross consults with the Tigers, and
Oh.
he'll be on to talk about fall colors.
There you go.
Double duty.
Yep.
The fall color, it's crazy.
I know.
They're just not changing.
No, we're just falling off the tree.
Yeah, they're just dying.
It's dying.
They're drying out and falling off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm going to be really interested to see what's going on there. The chemical imbalance of these trees because the weather's not changing properly.
Right.
Yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Meanwhile, the government shutdown's in day 7 here, and we're starting to see some of the impact, particularly at airports. Like, for example, at the Burbank Airport in Hollywood, there was no air traffic controllers expected at the tower Monday night because of staffing issues. All of that was going to be handled out of San Diego.
Oh, wow.
So
You're
they're
gonna
saying,
You're going to hear more of that. You're gonna
oh,
start
sure,
hearing
of
more
course.
that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You had Sean Duffy, the Secretary of Transportation, saying the uptick in sick calls since the government shutdown has gone up, which, of course,
You know
I
that
get
was
it.
going to happen.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Mhm.
Like, I don't blame those people.
No.
But he said the realities are this is going to be, you're going to see delays.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see delays at TSA. You're going to see delays in your flights arriving and taking off. So it's something that now we're starting to see the impact a little bit.
Yeah, he said yesterday there are 13,000 air traffic controllers expected to work without pay. They're already running on a shortage of air traffic controllers. And he says if they believe there's some sort of issue with airspace, they will shut it down. So he was trying to quell fears of flyers, saying, look, if we think it's not safe, we will make sure it is.
And these air traffic controllers, it's already a stressful job.
Right.
You couple that with you're not getting paid now.
Right.
It's not a good
You think
thing.
the airline industry is going to start lobbying to reopen the government if that gets to be the case? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this debate, fight over sending federal troops to places like Portland, places like Chicago, is taking a major step forward, and it is escalating. Even though a judge ruled that Donald Trump couldn't send the National Guard to Portland.
Well, yeah, and that's just temporary while they figure this all out. Allegedly, there's supposed to be 200 of them from Texas going to Chicago. This is what Chicago Mayor Johnson says about this.
What this president is doing is illegal, it's unconstitutional, and it's dangerous. Nowhere in the country am I hearing mayors request that we occupy the cities in America with the military. The brave women and men who signed up to protect our democracy did not do it with the idea of being used against the American people. And so we're going to stand firm and resolute in protecting the interests of Chicagoans and, quite frankly, protecting our democracy.
So he's a no.
He's a no, hard
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
President Trump was asked about the Insurrection Act and if he would invoke this Insurrection Act of 1807, which gives him a little more authority to do such things. Here's what he said.
I'd do it if it was necessary. So far, it hasn't been necessary, but we have an Insurrection Act for a reason. If I had to enact it, I'd do that. If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up, sure, I'd do that. I mean, I want to make sure that people aren't killed. We have to make sure that our cities are safe.
The last time that Insurrection Act was used was 1992 Los Angeles riots. That is a far different scenario than what's going on now.
Yeah, that was widespread unrest.
Exactly.
Right? I mean,
Yes.
These police officers were
Rodney
acquitted
King,
in
yeah.
the Rodney
Mhm.
King beating.
Right.
And so, all hell broke loose.
Yes. I mean, the,
And they
the place was on
needed-
fire. It was on fire.
I mean, they needed additional support.
They did. Absolutely.
And so it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel the same now.
No, it doesn't. And, when you talk about Portland and you see those awful videos around the detention center, that's one thing, but that's just like there. And when you talk about Chicago, I heard the president on Newsmax yesterday saying, like, it's insufferable what's happening on the South Side. 30 people dying. And those numbers are terrible, but it's a different situation.
Yeah.
It's a different situation. I think I go back to the thing that Donald Trump said when he initially deployed the National Guard in D.C., which was, I hope other states see what we're doing and then they follow suit. Meaning, if I can, translate what Donald Trump says, or at least to the best of my ability, saying, this is going to be a success and we want other states to ask for this. We want other states to come to the federal government and this administration and say, we need your help. Well, that hasn't really happened. They haven't followed suit. And yes, the numbers in D.C. have gone way, 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 way down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, the question still is there is this temporary?
Right.
When the National Guard leaves,
How long is it gonna last? Yes.
does all that crime that went away, does it resume?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fair question. I think it's the right question. But at the end of the day, what the president wanted initially with this being the trial run,
Yeah.
well, other states haven't jumped in. You did get Tennessee, you did get Memphis, but that's been it.
Yeah.
Portland hasn't come knocking.
Nope.
Chicago hasn't come knocking.
Nope.
So I think there's a very delicate line that could be crossed here.
Detroit setting another record for public safety. City leaders say violent crime has dropped even further below last year's 60-year low, with homicides, non-fatal shootings, and carjackings all down between 15 and 30%. That's compared to 2024. As of September 30, Detroit recorded 132 homicides, down from 155 at the same point last year. And Police Chief Todd Bettison credits closer collaboration between law enforcement, prosecutors, and community groups, including embedding prosecutors directly in precincts to strengthen cases and boost closure rates. And we'll be talking to the chief at about 7:49 this morning, because I'd like to ask him what he thinks about, the National Guard
Sure.
coming into cities, and what will he think about the National Guard coming here. I'd like to see what he'd say.
Mm-hmm. It's also the 2-year anniversary, a somber anniversary of the October 7th attacks. Yeah, peace talks are underway. It seems like there's a breakthrough going to happen, we hope, but I think that the people are mostly remembering those who are lost, those that are still in captivity, and all those who died on the Palestinian side as well.
Well, right. It was the domino effect that set everything off. And we're still seeing the horrific nature of what happened on October 7th today.
Yeah.
And yes, it was the precursor, and I think that everybody agreed that, Israel's steps in that were justified, and they had the ability to defend themselves and push back.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've got those on the right that are saying it's gone too far. And this peace deal that's on the table now, we just don't know how that's going to go. I mean, Hamas has signaled that they're interested in this deal, and that there are some good things that they're taking from it, but there's stuff that they don't agree with, and we haven't gotten to the point of whether or not they're going to accept it or
Right.
not. So, a somber remembrance of what happened 2 years ago on this day. Meanwhile, Donald Trump saying a new round of tariffs could come on these items. We'll talk about that next on JR Morning.